Hello, everybody. This is Mark Erlenwine, Principal of Staten Island Tech, welcoming you to our newest edition of Tech Talks. I want to thank you for joining us whenever it is that you actually view this video. Today's Tech Talks is a little bit of a different presentation. It's an introduction / a reintroduction to one of our faculty members who is a really important and vital resource to a lot of our students. This is Jody Cavaliere, our Library and Media Specialist, will be joining us today. For many of our ninth graders, our new students, you haven't met Mrs. Cavaliere yet. You haven't been in our school library, which is a vital resource and nerve center in the building during the lunch periods, after school. And in addition to that, there's just so many resources and tools that are available in the library and beyond the library, digital resources that we felt to be really important to introduce and reintroduce Mrs. Cavaliere to all of the Staten Island Technical High School community, and talk briefly about how everyone can access the remote library at Staten Island Tech. So with that being said, I'm going to bring our guest on for today, Mrs. Cavaliere. Hello, Mrs. Cavaliere. How are you?
Hello, Mr. Erlenwine. Thank you so much for the introduction. Thank you so much for having me today. And it's such a pleasure to be here with all of you.
This is so great to see you. And I was just telling the ninth graders who haven't met you yet, who haven't spent time in our library and media center about some of the things, the times of the day in which they'd be utilizing that space, and just the myriad of resources that exist beyond that space. That our students and faculty and staff have access to 24/7, essentially. So I want to thank you for joining us today to spend some time with our students, faculty, and staff talking about this. So it's, in a sense, this is an introduction of Mrs. Cavaliere to some of our students, and in a larger sense, this is a reintroduction of Mrs. Cavaliere to the entire school community once again, to remind everybody of all the tools that we do have in our resources, regardless of the fact of when we're in-person learning or remote. And I have to just give mega kudos and thanks and gratitude to Mrs. Cavaliere for just continually transforming our library and media center into a place that is just light years ahead of where it always needs to be, and just always being accessible for our students, faculty, and staff, whether it's in person or remote. It's a nerve center of the building where there's a lot of special things and important things happening. And in addition to that, you might know, or you should know, that in addition to being our librarian and media specialist, Mrs. Cavaliere also teaches our science and engineering research class, SERP. You want to talk a little bit about that as well, Mrs. Cavaliere, a little bit about yourself and the role that you play in the library and beyond?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. And I couldn't do any of what I do without all of you. It's being part of such an amazing team, and I'm so grateful for that. So thank you. And I look forward to continuing all of the great things that we do. So yes, I mean, the library is such an active place. Even now remotely, I'm hoping that we keep staying alive and doing all the great things that we're doing. And we have lots of opportunities to do that. The SERP class is one of the big pieces of what goes on in the library. I get to meet, personally, I get to meet with the sophomores every day. Well, now it's every 3 days. But normally when we're in school, it would be an everyday class, and it's a full class like you're all taking with all of your other classes. And it's an elective. So if you like science and you like research, it can begin in the second half of freshman year with Dr. Davis. He starts it all up. He's the coordinator of the program, and I'm happy to be involved in it as the librarian, to be able to deal with a lot of the research needs, and then also be able to work with you with those scientific studies. So if you like science and you like research and you love to write, that's definitely something to consider.
Great. Thank you, Mrs. Cavaliere, for expounding upon that. So now, next up, what Mrs. Cavaliere has kindly done for us, she's put together a small presentation that we're going to enlarge on the screen so it's very viewable. And there are certain links and some key pieces of information that will be included in the the program description below on YouTube. So some of those links that you might want to be able to click on or have access to will be in the program description below this video by the time this is posted for anyone in the school community who would like to see it. So at this time, I'm going to ask Ms. Cavaliere. I'm going to reduce our screens and bring up the presentation that she's put together for us, and she's going to talk us through just what is available at the remote Staten Island Tech Library. Okay, Ms. Cavaliere, it's all yours.
All right, and remember, this is just some of the features that are available. The possibilities, I always feel, with libraries are endless. So we'd love to hear back from you guys. If there's stuff that you would like to see, there's conversations we can have. I'd be so happy to have those conversations with you, as I know the school encourages all of your wonderful thoughts, and let's see where we could work from there. But this is what I have for you today. I'm hoping that you come back and revisit all of the different things that we're able to share with you today. And let me see. So let me see if I could share my screen with you all.
You can present now, and it should show up on the whole screen.
Okay, let's see. Thank you, Mr. Erlenwine.
No problem.
Okay, that is it there, the screen that we need?
You're there. I don't think it's on slide 1, but yes.
Okay, good. I think we made it to slide 1.
We're there.
All right. So again, thank you, and I welcome you all to the remote library at Tech, and I hope you do step inside. I'm going to show you ways in which you could do that and come and explore some of the resources that we have available. The first place that I would suggest that everybody goes to get started is to join our remote library Google Classroom. It's easy, just as you would join any other class. You have the code that's right on the top there, but you could also see it on that middle section there as well. And just add it as a class, and you will get updates from me. You will get different links that you can go to, different activities that might be occurring, and lots of resources that are also available for you to utilize. Once you've joined the remote library classroom, another place that is also posted on there is the remote library LibGuide. So you can click on this link to see our remote library LibGuide, and that will give you access to our catalog, where you can still access lots of ebooks. And the Department of Ed, which is wonderful, I hope you guys have taken a look at that, is a catalog called Sora. And you can also link the public library catalogs to it. So if you're looking for a good book and it's hard to find them in print right now because you can't get to the physical space, now's a nice time to go and explore the ebook collection as well. What's nice, and you'll see it a little later on in this presentation, is we also have an ebook request form. So if there's something that you're looking for, you could request it. And if it's something that is good for the library and that you're interested in, we could see if we can obtain that those books for you as well. So please, again, your input is wonderful and greatly encouraged. So please click on those links and go ahead and explore. I don't know, does it share, Mr. Erlenwine, if I click on it, or I'm just better off sticking with the presentation?
If you click on a link, all you'd have to do is just make sure you expand upon it. I think
Okay.
right now, if you stop sharing and just share the screen at a time, it's moving away from the actual presentation.
So I'm going to go back then, I think, just for the sake of our time in the presentation, and let you guys go through it yourselves. But just know that there's a lot of information that's, whether it be activities or opportunities that are available on that remote library LibGuide that you might have fun going through. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my presentation and try and share that again. Oh, there we go. Is it back to the presentation now where it's sharing?
You're back to the presentation, and there's a box on the side, on the bottom. If you click hide, it'll hide. It says, yeah, there you go.
All right, good. So, all right, thank you. So I guess it's okay. It's not sharing as the PowerPoint anymore, or the slides. I think it's just sharing now as more of like a PDF. But that's okay. I think you'll still be able to, you're going to see the links and you're going to see all the different screens. I'm just going to click ahead. So that's our remote library LibGuide. Another thing that is interesting to note is some of the select resources that we have. So if you're thinking about, well, what can I be doing with the remote library? You have the opportunity to get ebooks, but also you have the opportunity to look at databases and online journals, the different activities that we're promoting, or different activities that might even be available online. Like I can think of recently too, there was a nice event that the Brooklyn Botanical Society was offering, and that might be something that I post for you guys to see on the Google Classroom. All different things that come up. There's different activities going on all the time that we're promoting for you all. Another thing that is nice to consider is the public library connection. Everybody can get a library card, and the public library has so many e-resources that are still good to utilize at this time, even if we can't get to the physical library itself. So go ahead, apply. If you don't have one already, apply for a public library card, and then you can see what they have in terms of their e-resources. Out of any of these different areas we have, you'll get the websites, you'll get trivia, sometimes you'll have research opportunities, and then the library also has clubs that go on. Last year at the end, when we were doing the remote learning, we have the Tech Science Times magazine. That magazine, it was an online magazine, so it was easy enough for us to meet as a club. They were still writing and publishing articles, and I'd like to continue that this year too. So if that's something that you're interested in, keep your eyes out for the announcements, and it might be something to get involved in. The library also, in addition to SERP, which is a library that sophomore classes meets through the library, I also meet with lots of other classes, especially for the freshman orientations. I'm hoping to meet with all of you guys soon in your classes, whether it be, usually we were doing it in the robotics class or in the TV studio class. We'll see. I'm hoping to meet with all of you again very shortly. And again, maybe we'll have our own in terms of a freshman library classroom as well. So some of the other classes, just recently I was meeting with the AP language class. They're doing their research. So those are all different places and avenues that we might be interacting with, as well as in addition to the remote library and any stuff that we're doing through the actual library pages. So I hope to see you all in those in any of those capacities soon. So there's also a library homepage and a catalog. We have, in addition to the public library and the DOE ebooks, we have our own library homepage. So I hope that you click on that. There's a Google Doc that has the instructions with how to get there. That's also available through the tech page. So you go to academics, you go to library, you go to library homepage, and then you'll see all the different menu bars that you can click on. So when you visit the library homepage, you'll see the catalog there, and you can search our ebooks. If there's ever, again, at any time that there's something that you'd like to request, please let me know, and we can see what we can do, because you guys make the collection. So it's based on all of your teachers' school needs, the needs of what you're finding for research, and the stuff that you enjoy reading. So please let us know so that we can tailor the library to how it is most useful for you all. So the classes and clubs that I was mentioning, I think I did touch on that already, but just to reiterate, you could see it's the SERP, we have a book club. In addition to the Tech Science Times, that's something that we're gonna have to get started again, and we could do it through the ebooks. I'm sure we'll be able to find lots of things that you'd like to discuss. And then again, in the classes, and once again, we're always open to ideas. I look to hearing back from you. Again, if you want to request any types of information or ebooks at this point, because right now we can't do it in the physical sense where you could check out a book, but we definitely have the ebook request forms, and we'll be able to look at, when the time comes, searching for actual print books too. Our library, just to say, in addition to the ebooks, our library, our physical space is home to over more than 12,000 books and materials. So it's a nice big library, and I look forward to the day where we could share that as well. But yes, please utilize the ebook request form. Let me know what you're looking for, and we'll see. It'll collect your email address so I can get back to you as well. I'm going to ask for possibly, there's a space where you can add a teacher if there's a class that you're doing research with. But if you see areas on the form that don't necessarily apply, just write not applicable, because I believe every question does have to be answered, and we will decipher it from there. And finally, I have my remote library office hours. What I'm trying to do is be available at least one time a day in your cycles. So on a day A, I'll be in the library period 1. So I'll be sitting at my computer and I will say the library, remote library, not that it's open because it's open all the time, but I'm available in the remote library. And the same thing for day B, period 6, or day C, period 9. So like something for today, or if I had a class and I was supposed to be in the remote library, I might not be able to be there because there's meetings and there are classes, but for the most part, I'm trying to stick with that schedule. And if there's ever a need, please feel free to email me at the at my SciTech email address, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. And I look forward to hearing from all of you. And a special thanks to everybody at the school, because the library is so well used, and you make it what it is. But my extra special thanks goes to Mr. Erlemoine, Ms. Sanguinito, Dr. Davis, all the administration as well, who have made the library such a wonderful place. So I thank you all.
Thank you, Mrs. Cavaliere. That was fantastic. Really in depth, and I really appreciate you sharing all that information with us. Is that a presentation with all the links that can be shared with the students? Is this something that we can add to the information below, or should I just include the links versus a document?
I think either way, it's fine. I believe the links are all hyperlinked on the presentation itself. So, I mean, there should be easy access to those links there. But either way, I think any way it's shared, it's appreciated.
Great. So more than likely, I'll create a PDF out of this and make it accessible in the information of the program description below. And this was really wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time today, Mrs. Cavaliere, to go through all this with us. And hope you and your family are continuing to do well. And we look forward to seeing everybody, hopefully in person soon again. And I don't anticipate before the end of December that happening, but higher hopes for January when we return from the holidays to be able to return to some form of in-person learning, where we can reinvigorate what we normally do back in the building, as well as remotely. But thank you again for joining us today. And to all you who tuned in for this, we appreciate you spending the past 17 or so minutes with us and learning more about our library and media resources, even during this remote mode of learning. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We appreciate it. If we don't meet again soon, have a very happy holiday. Thank you, Mrs. Cavaliere.
Thank you very much, too. And thank you, everybody. I look forward to working with all of you.
Bye, everyone.